always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to a little appreciation. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. Victoria Farnsworth, quoted in a past issue of the Reader's Digest, said, "Not until I became a mother did I understand how much my mother had sacrificed for me. Not until I became a mother did I feel how hurt my mother was when I disobeyed. Not until I became a mother did I know how proud my mother was when I achieved. Not until I became a mother did I realize how much my mother loves me." A quote from Victoria Farnsworth. A little appreciation this hour with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Josh Groban, You Are Loved, So Don't Give Up, and Amy Sky, and I Will Take Care of You. I'm Don Jackson from iTunes and CHFI.com. I thought it appropriate we speak of appreciation since it's the Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. C.S. Lewis from The Four Loves, published by Harcourt Brace Jovanovich, wrote, "Affection is the humblest love. It gives itself no airs. It lives with private things, soft slippers, old clothes, old jokes, the thump of a sleepy dog's tail on the kitchen floor. The glory of affection is that it can unite those who are not made for one another. People who, if not put down by fate in the same household or community, would have nothing to do with one another. Affections broaden our minds. Of all natural loves, it teaches us first to notice, then to endure, then to smile at, then to enjoy, and finally to appreciate the people who happen to be there. Made for us? Thank God, no. They are themselves odder than you could have believed, and worth far more than we guessed." C.S. Lewis from The Four Loves, published by Harcourt Brace Jovanovich. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Hall & Oates and Sara Smile, and Mariah Carey with Trey Lorenz, and I'll Be There. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. David Fowler, writing in the Christian Science Monitor, said, "The real heroes of human existence are those who are camouflaged by unpretentiousness. I think a symphony best characterizes my feelings. A large group of musicians, each proficient in his chosen instrument, each humble enough to lend his talent, so that the whole is brought to life and fully appreciated." Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Bette Midler with The Wind Beneath My Wings. Alicia Keys, If I Ain't Got You, and Enrique Iglesias and Hero. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Sidney J. Harris from Field Newspaper Syndicate some years back wrote, "The other evening I met an attractive and not unintelligent woman whose only fault was that she was intolerable. She wanted to be liked and appreciated too fast. She burned out like a firecracker between the soup and the dessert." One of the most characteristic failings of such people is their desperate need to make an impression. But people need to be unwrapped slowly and deliciously. Those who tear off their own ribbons and rip open their own covers lose the very appreciation they are trying so desperately to win. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Bryan Adams, Inside Out, and Annie Lennox and Why. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. This is an excerpt from writing by American inspirational author and speaker Bob Perks. I wish you enough rain to appreciate the sun more. Sidney J. Harris from Field Newspaper Syndicate wrote, "It is only perhaps after you have loved and lost that you can comprehend what it means to another person to love you. Those who have never suffered unrequited love are commonly those who are most insensitive toward the hurt they may inflict on others and the least appreciative of the gift of love." Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Divine Brown to Lay It on the Line and the Temptations with Just My Imagination. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Martin Buxbaum in Table Talk wrote, and I quote, Dr. William L. Stidger sat down and wrote a letter of thanks to a school teacher for having given him so much encouragement when he had been in her class 30 years before. The following week, he received an answer written in a very shaky hand. The letter read, "My dear Willie, I want you to know what your note meant to me. I am an old lady in my 80s, living alone in a small room, cooking my own meals, lonely, and seeming like the last leaf on the tree. You will be interested to know, Willie, that I taught school for 50 years, and in all that time, yours is the first letter of appreciation I have ever received. It came on a cold blue morning and cheered my lonely heart as nothing has cheered me in many years." Martin Buxbaum in Table Talk. Take the time to show your appreciation, no matter the reason. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Van Morrison, Have I Told You Lately? I hope you'll have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. And thank you for supporting Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.